have to have faith for that to work, Mr. Vincent.
Hello and welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast, the podcast where three men drink beers and gripe about horror movies.
Kill me, Charlie, before I turn into a vampire and give you a hickey! He's gonna make his move
on you and me. Just so everyone's aware, there will be spoilers and plenty of nasty, nasty language.
You're so cool, Brewster.
I don't know.
Charlie Brewster.
Good luck, guys.
Seaman Training Day. Leather Buddies and Latin Crotch Rockets.
Wait. I have a couple.
These are all movies.
I also wrote Seaman Training Day, but
these are all movies John starred in.
With Evil Ed. Hunk Hotel.
Is this what this episode is going to be?
In Butt Blazers, my personal favorite.
Butt Blazers.
Just remember.
He did a lot of porn in the 90s.
Just remember, I'm editing this.
We know, but you have to leave it in or there'll be no podcast.
I'm going to go do some hot dog tricks right now. So.
Alright.
Good luck, guys.
So, Fright Night.
Lead us out.
So, Fright Night.
Welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. We blew it! Hi, and welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast. I'm Cobra.
I'm John.
You're Ben.
I am Ben. John's not here
in the
today.
other room.
John actually left us in charge.
So we're going to run this until he gets back. We are covering 1985's Fright Night. What was the budget on this one?
$7 million. Grossed $25 million.
This movie was...
It has a huge cult following now.
Spoiler alert, this movie is pretty good.
It is. Chris Sarandon's great in this movie.
Chris Sarandon is the Matthew McConaughey of the 1980s. He's a hunk.
Plays Jerry Dandridge.
Who are the top 5 hunks of the 1980s?
Oh.
Chris Sarandon.
What else did he do besides Prince of Bride?
He was Prince Humperdinck. That's all he had.
Mayday Malone. Did you say?
Tom Selleck.
Oh, Tom Selleck.
Ted Danson.
Mayday Malone.
Steve Guttenberg.
Why was Guttenberg a thing?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
How was Guttenberg ever a thing?
Because he was funny.
You left Steven Seagal off there.
That was going hunkiest.
He fights like a girl. So this movie starred Chris Sarandon, who was great in it. William Ragsdale was Charlie Brewster.
Was he from Herman's Head? Was he Herman from Herman's Head?
I have no idea.
The TV show from the 90s?
I remember the show, but
I think he was. He's alright.
This is the guy that played Charlie?
Yeah.
Okay. Amanda Beers. Marcy
Darcy, and I hope that he's going to plug some Married with Children plugs in this.
Roddy McDowell's in this.
I don't know, every time I ask him to plug, like, please put this in, he never does. So he's going to need to start, because sounds are funny.
Keep saying plug it.
I keep saying plug it, but the only thing he plugs are hot dogs.
Look at this and see what you'll never have again!
I saw it again and it's all darkness.
Hey, plug this.
And John's favorite actor, Stephen Jeffries, is Evil Ed.
Who turned to gay porn after...
Wow, a lot of gay porn.
Yeah, if you didn't hear us in the beginning, Butt Blazers and Seaman Training
Leather
Day.
Buddies.
And John has at least 2 of these movies, I'm pretty sure.
I think he ordered them. They probably overcharged his credit card, and he just kept them.
Why wouldn't you?
So, Tom Holland directed this.
What else did he do?
I don't know anything else he did.
Who did he do?
He wrote and directed this movie.
Child's Play? Who did Child's Play?
I don't know. I don't know how to work his computation device.
Look, we're on IMDb on his computer.
You want me to look it up?
Yeah, real quick. Tom Holland, because this movie's good, so.
Who the fuck is Keith? What's happening? Holy crap!
Use the mouse.
Is that
man.
computer screen cracked?
Probably.
Where's? I'm looking.
Oh, there you go. He did something. Roddy McDowell is in this
Planet
movie.
of the Apes, Roddy McDowell.
Legend of Hell House, Roddy McDowell.
That's not the Tom Holland I'm looking for, is it?
I don't know.
Absolutely not.
No.
Let me just type in Fright Night.
You are just awful with IMDb. This is some of the most caveman activities I've seen in a long time.
He can edit.
Aren't you a millennial?
No,
You're
you
not.
are.
What are you?
Bernie's all about, the millennials love Bernie. You should love Bernie.
I don't love Bernie.
Keep
Start bringing your political views on this show.
I was waiting for it. Oh wow, he did Fright Night 2011.
He did Child's Play too. I nailed it. Fuck
Yeah, he did, didn't
I
he?
was on top of my game there.
Ah, Thinner. Did you ever watch that movie?
Is that Stephen King?
The movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did.
He did a Masters
I've
of
seen
Horrors.
part of it.
Oh my, he did Langoliers. Oh, he starred in it. He was Harker? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, most of his movies aren't good.
He
but
played
this one
Carl
was,
Huff in The Stand.
which was too
Oh, he did.
fucking long.
He directs Psycho 2. No, he played Deputy Norris.
Psycho 2 is not a bad sequel. Nay?
I might be wrong on this. Does
Check
that
it
star Dennis Franz?
It stars
Dennis
Anthony
Franz is in it.
Hopkins. Or not Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Perkins.
Hello, Clarice.
Oh, it's close.
So it starts out with Charlie and his girlfriend Amy making out, but then we get a midnight horror cable station.
And it's Roddy McDowell. And he's a vampire hunter.
He hosts the show, and then he's a vampire hunter. I assume he's supposed to be. Well, his name is it Vincent Price? No.
It's not, but it's close.
What is his name? It is
Peter Vincent.
Peter Vincent, which is Peter Cushing and Vincent Price.
Yeah.
So Charlie stops making out with his girlfriend to watch the show, right?
And I hear Al Bundy in my head saying, "Well, you're a chicken," to Marcy Darcy.
And Charlie notices out the window there's two people carrying a coffin into the house next door.
He's concerned. He's got vampires on his brain.
So what do you think about, we have traditional vampire,
All traditional
the
vampire.
gothic, it's like gothic vampire, but at the same time, it's not a castle, it's just an old house.
He can't come out at night, though.
But
Or he
they-
only comes out at night.
But
Mostly.
Did you ever see Salem's Lot?
Parts.
So it's basically that. It's gothic vampire, but you can't use a castle.
And it's
so
Chris
they
Sarandon, so he's a sexual vampire, too.
Yeah.
Which
the,
I like.
The traditional vampire.
Yeah,
the
Salem's Lot guy,
suave.
he's not a
But his
sexual one,
when he
is he?
transforms though, he gets kind of a Nosferatu. So you're getting the best of both. You're getting the traditional suave vampire, but you're also getting
Some good...
the fingernails.
The
Do
good...
long fingernails creep you out?
No, because I can grow them.
That
and
is-
next podcast, I won't cut them, and I'll show you how
That's-
fucking long these get. I'm like a werewolf vampire.
That's just awful. Like that just gives me the creeps. Long fingernails.
I'm gonna stab
Long
you with
fingernails
my
on a
next
guy.
podcast.
Creepy.
Chris Sarandon, he's so good as Prince Humperdinck too.
So-
Iocane powder.
So we
I
see
bet
the
my life on it.
we see the two people bringing this coffin in. Who are these two? They don't tell you.
What's that one guy?
One of them, I'm assuming, is Billy.
Billy.
I got problems with that character. I like him and stuff. I've seen him in other stuff
What?
in the 80s.
I'm so confused with what Billy is. Is he vampire?
I think he's
Is he
yeah, they don't.
a day walker?
I assume he's like the Watcher. Again,
Yeah.
this is stolen. This idea, I think, was stolen from Salem's Lot. You have this vampire in this old house, just like in Salem's Lot, and then you have a day watcher, I guess, that watches the vampire as the vampire sleeps in the day.
Yeah.
And Salem's Lot had a character like that, and
What
I think
was
that's
his name?
what
Alfred the
Straker.
Butler.
Straker, I think.
Curtis Stryker.
Yeah, that's it.
Straker. He was mentioned in the Dark Tower.
Straker.
Yeah, they mentioned
Stephen King. So.
the Dark Tower was like literally they. Have you ever read the Dark Tower or listened to it?
I have read the first 3 books.
Okay. Have they referred yet? Probably not. I don't think they've got there yet to the vampires and Barlow and
No.
Streaker.
No.
Like, they run into them, which is really weird that they're running into characters from Salem's Lot in a Stephen King book, which came out later. But it's kind of cool also, because the gunslinger and all them, they run into Barlow, or not maybe the gunslinger, but other people. It's so weird. It's great.
So, Charlie starts suspecting his neighbor.
Is a vampire.
There's something off. And so we get he tries to tell his mom, and we get the classic 80s clueless parents.
Yeah.
they're just they're not going to play a role.
No, and they had this awkward scene where they didn't have sex. Marcy Darcy won't have sex with Charlie, and
He got rapey here.
he did get rapey.
He's like, God damn it, we've been dating for a year.
Yeah, it's been a year, and you don't let me touch you, and you know what? Yeah, he's right. It has been a year. If you
still can't
give
get
it
rapey.
up. But he's the same age as her, at least.
Break up with her if she's not. You can't get rapey.
After a year, you say, "Listen, bitch, it's time to do it."
You're endorsing rape.
No, not rape. He didn't rape her.
He's rapey.
He's handsy,
So
feely, touchy.
the
Touchy-feely.
next morning, I don't know. Charlie's doing something and he sees a cab pull up in front of the neighbor's house, Jerry, who's the vampire. But we see
A hot
blonde prostitute. Get
Gets
out of the car, and she starts heading into the house. She asks him the address,
Hey,
and he's
it's
like,
the
"No,
shit
that's
house."
right next door." And is it later that night he sees her getting killed?
Well, he sees like them looking over at her, and Chris Sarandon's like behind her,
Yeah.
and we see some boobs.
It's that you saw something you shouldn't have seen, and
Yeah.
somebody finds out. Like, Chris Sarandon sees him.
No,
spying.
actually, that's not. Yeah, I don't think.
But
The
we're
hot
getting
blonde gets killed, and he sees her on the news.
we're getting news clips, which I love.
That's what happened.
I love
the
this.
next girl he sees that night in the window.
But I love these things in the 80s where you're getting these radio reports or television reports. So we're hearing television reports that a body's been found behind blah blah blah, and the next day you hear another murder's happened.
Yeah.
And so that also is weighing on Charlie that
He saw
there's
this
murders
blonde girl
happening. This new guy just moved to town.
And his girlfriend gets mad at him and throws a burger in his face because he's looking at this.
It's uncalled for.
Yeah, and then Evil Ed's like, "You're so cool, Brewster."
I can't stand Evil Ed in this movie.
His voice is
He's
annoying.
very annoying. You had mentioned that we see Jerry and some girl in the window.
Yeah, this is
and
the next
Charlie's,
night, that
Charlie's
night.
watching,
And Chris Sarandon says,
and he bites her.
I
Does he
see
bite
you.
her?
Yeah,
I
we
think he
see the
bites her,
boobs here.
and then we see Chris Sarandon looks up and he sees Charlie watching. So now,
No, he doesn't bite her yet. His fangs show though, and he
Yeah.
sees her. Then he closes the curtain. Then he kills her.
and then later that night we see Jerry and his crony taking the body out of the house.
Yep. And let me ask you about this. Jerry is always eating apples and fruit in the movie,
I looked that up in the
And I
trivia.
said-
That was Chris Sarandon's idea.
and I said, "Is he a fruit bat?"
I like that.
Right? Da-da-da.
That's actually quite terrible.
Why though?
I saw the trivia, and for some reason, Chris Sarandon thought it would be a good idea if he was eating apples all the time. He took a hell of a bite out of that one apple.
Yeah, I
He
couldn't
threw
even
it
see
when
the
he-
core anymore.
When Charlie's creeping in the bushes.
Yeah, and you get to see a shot which was a Lost Boys shot. It was like a flight shot of Chris Sarandon
But-
as a bat flying.
Lost Boys is 2 years later.
Exactly. So they stole it from
Yes.
this, but it's still way better than Near Dark.
That was a good shot, top of the house.
Yeah.
He's running across
Him
the...
coming down,
and
then he
just-
all of a sudden appeared
Yeah.
and threw Billy something that just kind of like floated right to him.
It's like a purse, I think. It was I think it was the hooker's
A
purse.
purse. Oh, the
And-
hooker's purse.
Okay, so we get a news report, and I can't remember if they say a prostitute was found murdered or something. She looked high class, like a high class call girl. Someone's gonna be missing her. This isn't like Maniac.
No,
Where-
yeah, you're right.
where
Where's
there's-
Chris Sarandon getting his money? That's what I don't understand. Why are
But-
vampires always wealthy?
Because they live forever, they're smart, they're strong. They
Okay,
just
but what
they
do
just
they steal?
accumulate wealth, I think.
You just can't accumulate wealth. You got to steal some.
Over
money.
hundreds of years, you can accumulate a lot.
How
of
do we
wealth.
know how old Chris Sarandon is? We don't.
No, but
He's a hunk.
traditional
though.
vampire. I'm assuming he's been alive for a long time.
You shouldn't assume.
So Charlie suspects that Jerry murdered someone. So we get Jerry calling the cops, and the police show up.
And this is funny because
This
Billy.
This is where we really first meet Billy.
Yeah, and he's like, "Why don't we go downstairs and look at? There's a coffin down there."
And Charlie-
And Billy's like, "Yeah, there is a coffin. He's a vampire." And the cops like, "Bah!" They're like hamming it up. And even later, like Chris Sarandon gets into the house because the mom let him, and Charlie's dropping lines, and he's like agreeing that he is a vampire, but because no one believes in vampires, it doesn't even matter, and it's so funny in that way.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is. That it's playing it off that everyone knows he's a vampire, but because vampires aren't real, it doesn't matter.
It's the clueless mom. The clueless parents.
But it's
the
everybody.
adults.
Even Roddy McDowell
Well,
later
the
until he
clueless
sees
adults. The adults don't believe. The kids. Charlie's not getting...
even the kids don't believe until they see it for their own.
This is true. Charlie's not getting help from the police, so he enlists the help of Evil Ed for some... I don't know why Ed...
For $12 or $7.
Something like that.
$12.
Ed gives them some vampire...
He gets a crucifix.
Yeah.
And
He tells them about holy water and something
Garlic.
else. Garlic, yeah. So Charlie thinks...
This is where he gets home is...
Well, Evil Ed also tells him you have to invite a vampire into your house for a vampire to come in. Charlie feels a little bit better, and then when he gets home, his mom's like, Charlie, I want you to meet the new neighbor. And it's Jerry. So she's invited him in, and...
This is where he's playing it out. Charlie's like, Mom, you didn't let him in, did you? And he's like, oh, since your mom let me in, I'll be coming over a lot, Charlie.
Yeah. Really creepy.
It is creepy, but funny.
Chris Sarandon's great in this movie.
He is so good. He's good in everything, even in Child's... he was in Child's Play as a detective, too, and that was Tom Holland, so there's a connection there.
I haven't watched Child's Play for so long.
It's not great.
I don't...
Good.
I know who Chris Sarandon is, but I don't know, other than Princess Bride and Fright Night, I don't really know what else.
He was just so big in The Princess Bride.
Oh, well, yeah.
He could track a falcon.
When was that movie out? When was Princess Bride out?
87?
So that was like the next year. He looks so much older in The Princess Bride than he does in this movie.
2 years later. This was 85.
He aged that much in 2 years.
He still looked good.
So Charlie's now expecting Jerry to attack him, and Charlie's in his room, and he's kind of watching out the window. But then he hears footsteps on the roof. And
This is kind of cool when Chris Sarandon gets in his room.
Mm-hmm.
He has super strong strength, which we know vampires have.
Yes. And he's got long ass fingernails, which really creep me out.
And he's choking Charlie and throwing him through like his closet.
Yeah, he threw him through a closet. Pretty good scene. Just roughing him up. I don't think Charlie would still be walking after all this, but...
No.
Is this a horror comedy?
Yeah.
Was it advertised as a horror comedy?
I
can remember... I had HBO when I was younger. We used to get an HBO guide, like to tell you. And I remember seeing the poster art for this in the HBO guide, and I remember thinking, it was creepy, the poster art for me.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking this has to be like a horror film. And then,
it had like Marcy Darcy over the house with her giant teeth.
And I can remember talking in school with kids, and I don't even know what grade I would have been in around this time, first grade maybe by the time this came out, somewhere in there. And I remember talking to Josh. Remember Josh Janke? Mm-hmm. I remember talking to him about it. He told me, he's like, "Oh man, you gotta watch this movie. It's so cool." But I don't know where I'm going with that story, but maybe
the nostalgia.
I think it's just nostalgia of it. Yeah, Charlie hears Jerry on the roof, and Jerry appears in the room, starts roughing Charlie up. He starts trying to push Charlie out the window.
There's like a spike, and he's gonna spike it on him, but Charlie grabs a pencil and stabs it through his hand. So we get a stake,
and his hand starts, Jerry's hand starts smoking, and lets out a scream, or was it a bellow?
It might have been a bellow, but he's not happy nonetheless. And it looked all right.
Yeah, but Charlie's mom wakes up. Jerry takes off, and now Charlie knows it's on. He's gonna have to watch his back.
Yep.
Jerry calls him on the phone right after this, right?
Yeah.
And basically just says
he says, "Tom, you're dead.
I'll see you tomorrow night."
Tomorrow, you're dead. Yeah. Charlie then goes to see Roddy McDowell.
Yeah, Peter Vincent.
Studio.
And Peter Vincent doesn't. I mean, he thinks vampires are in the movies.
Yeah,
he really doesn't believe.
And then he makes fun of the slasher genre. He's like, all kids want to do anymore is see like naked girls getting cut up, and that's why nobody wants to watch his vampire show anymore, because the slasher genre isn't. So they know that. So it is a nice 1985 movie.
We'll get to that. It's not
You don't like this movie?
No. I'm not saying that at all. We'll get there.
You like this? Let me just ask this serious question right now. Do you like this vampire movie better than Near Dark?
Absolutely not.
Oh my god! That's terrible.
We'll get there.
What? No, I don't even want to know.
So Charlie asks for help from Peter Vincent, and Peter Vincent just kind of blows him off, right?
Yeah, he's like, you're crazy.
You're
kid.
crazy,
Vampires
kid."
don't exist.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So we get Charlie kind of hunkering down. He's sharpening stakes.
Yeah, Evil Ed and Amy show up, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, and we're gonna go fucking kill
Well,
this guy." And they're like,
Yeah, Charlie's
"Whoa!"
like, Charlie knows Jerry's gonna come for him, and it's daylight still. So Charlie's like, I'm gonna kill him before he kills me, and they're all thinking, Charlie's crazy. He's gonna go kill somebody.
I've got a line here from Evil Ed that says, "He will be able to suck his way through the whole town." Was this
Little did we know.
Was this a reference about himself 4 years later in Butt Blazer?
I think it was. Or Seaman Training Day.
God. Oh, it's so funny. But wrong. So Amy and
Evil Ed
go to see Roddy McDowell, and they're like, "Listen, we're friends with the crazy guy that came and saw you earlier."
Well, they say, can you just go with Charlie to Jerry's house
to convince him that
vampires don't exist, and bring a cross, bring holy water, to prove to Charlie that vampires don't exist. So they go.
Yeah,
they
Marcy
show
Darcy gives him like a $500 bond that
pays
she
them.
has
Just really weird.
to pretend that this holy water's fake.
So Peter Vincent takes Charlie to Jerry's house.
Where Jerry's eating an apple.
Yes. Was it still daylight? Because Jerry was up at this time. He comes down.
I think he waited till night.
Okay.
I think it was like, because they were outside and he was like, "Where is he?
Oh,
He's
yeah,
not
yeah,
coming right."
yeah.
And then he showed up a little bit. It was getting darker, so.
So, Peter Vincent pulls out like holy water, and Jerry kind of gives like a look of, what's that? And Peter Vincent says, "Holy water, of course." And Jerry does something, I can't remember what it was,
What?
but I think he realizes, okay, that's not holy water.
He's holding it and then he sticks it
He
near the
puts it to-
fire
yeah,
or
and
something.
I think something would have shown up to let him know if
But
it's
that's
holy
weird,
water.
right? Because
So
it's
then-
just a blessing. It's not like something gets cast over the water.
I
or,
don't know. Yeah, that.
But yeah, he did. It was weird because he was like, and then he accepted that it was okay to drink.
So he drinks it, and Peter Vincent's like, "See, Charlie, like
Nothing happened.
nothing happened."
And Charlie's like, "That wasn't blessed, you fucking liar."
So, but we also see at this point that Jerry takes a look at Amy, and he's infatuated. And I have written down here that Jerry's a pederasser because
She's 17.
she's in high school.
He is 50.
I think he's supposed to be 30s in this movie, but I
He's
don't know his
hockey
age,
player.
but I'm guessing he was probably mid-40s, maybe.
It doesn't matter. He's a hunk.
But anyways, you shouldn't be going after a 17-year-old girl.
Nobody's trying to get back at Charlie.
So, but also, right before they leave, Peter Vincent pulls out a compact of some sort. What was he doing with that mirror?
It was one of his props from, I think, one of his movies, and it
Yeah,
dropped
but
out
why
of
did
his
he?
pocket.
Is that what it was? But he
Yeah.
opened it up, and that's how the mirror gets exposed. And then he's looking in the mirror, and he sees Charlie talking to
Jerry.
He sees Jerry talking to Charlie and Amy, and Billy's there, but we only see Billy, Charlie, and Amy. And so Peter Vincent's like, "What the fuck?
Let's get out of here,
Let's
guys.
get out of here."
And then he's still like, "No, I'm not gonna help you."
But he dropped the mirror then, and it broke, and it left a piece of glass on the floor.
And
After
Jerry
they
finds it
leave,
later.
Jerry sees the glass, and then he suspects that Peter Vincent knows.
And everyone knows.
Yeah, that he's a vampire. Jerry's gonna go after them, all of them, I believe.
Yeah. So on the way home,
Jerry goes after Evil Ed first.
because Evil Ed is gonna go down this
They're
dark
walking-
alley.
they're walking
and-
Amy home.
Yeah, and Amy's like, or Amy and what's the main guy?
Charlie.
Charlie are like, "Don't go down that." And Evil Ed's like, "You're a pussy, Brewster," or something like that.
Yeah,
And he's like, "I'm
probably.
going down this way." So they walk away.
We get
and
some really good 80s synth going on during
It
this
is
scene.
good. The
The alley
soundtrack's
scene.
good to this. I don't know why you don't like this movie, but
I didn't say I didn't like
So-
this movie.
Evil Ed all of a sudden is like, "Ah!" So they run back, and he was fucking faking that he got bit by a vampire because we know he's gonna get bit by a vampire. So they're like, Actually, he calls him Pencil Dick here, and I was like, did he see his porn movies? Maybe he knows.
John Seldom.
So, Humperdinck, after this, gets Evil Ed, and he kills him. Or he bites him in the neck.
Wait, what? Oh yeah.
After they leave, Humperdinck gets him in the alley.
he turns Ed.
And he turns Ed into a vampire.
And then so now there's 2 vampires, possibly 3, but we'll get to that.
Running around.
So Ed goes after Peter Vincent to take him out, and Peter Vincent pulls out. Which obviously he's already convinced there's vampires, but
yes, but this is weird because later on in the movie he holds up a crucifix and he's like to Chris Sarandon, he's like, "You don't
have to believe."
But he burns that head right in the Evil Ed's head, so he has to believe for that to happen. He doesn't believe yet.
Should have already believed by then.
But he doesn't until later.
You're right.
That's just a small fact that doesn't matter though.
But he burns Evil Ed right in the forehead, which it's pretty cool.
These are good effects.
Jerry puts
a jazzercise.
Well, Amy and Charlie go into a club, which reminded
we get our
me
80s dance montage.
Which reminded me of Terminator when Sarah Connor goes into that club to escape the Terminator, but I don't know why that did.
It's Sarandon shows up with a shirt that's too big and it looks like he's ready for jazzercise class.
This is a weird scene. He trances Amy, somehow puts a trance on her.
She looks like she's gone catatonic when they're dancing.
Charlie's on the payphone trying to get a hold of Peter Vincent, right?
Yeah, he's calling him.
Yeah, he turns his back and Amy sees Jerry from across the club.
She looks like Pat Benatar. Starts licking his face after she's
really weird.
It is weird
because everybody's
17.
Everybody's fast dancing, but then when Amy gets over to Jerry, they start. Did you just fart?
No, that was the fridge. I don't fart on the show. I'm not John. I burp.
So Amy gets over to Jerry, and they start. They're like grinding.
They start dirty dancing.
It's stolen right from Dirty Dancing.
Right. And they start twirling, and there's mirrors along the wall, and nobody sees that Amy is like spinning by herself. There's no reflection of
Amy sees it. Amy sees it, but she can't fight this trance of some sort.
Because Humperdinck is so sexually arousing. She can't get out of her cat.
I just thought it was that his acting was like 100 times better than everybody else, and that's what
it's everything. It's because he's a hunk and he's great.
Did you notice who the bar bouncer was?
Was it the guy from Part 3?
Yes.
The black biker guy?
Yeah, it was Ali from Friday Part 3.
I did notice that.
I loved it.
Which is fantastic.
By this time, Charlie realizes Amy's in trouble, and he goes over. Bar bouncer gets involved. The bar bouncer's Ali from Friday Part 3. And Jerry just starts kicking ass.
He starts tossing people.
Yeah. But then he takes Amy. He tells Charlie that him and Peter Vincent better show up at Jerry's house, or they'll never see Amy again, or Amy will die or something.
Peter Vincent on a whim goes to Mrs. Brewster's house here too. I don't know why he goes there because Charlie's not there.
Is this where? Because he's already fought Ed. Oh, Ed runs away because he gets that crucifix in the forehead. So no. They both show up, and Peter Vincent basically pisses himself and runs away, scared. This is where he pulls out the crucifix, and Jerry says, "You have to believe." He goes to
find Mrs.
No, he goes next door after that.
But he hasn't killed. What's his name yet?
Billy.
Yeah,
that's later.
Not Billy. Evil Ed.
He kills him at Brewster's house.
Yeah. That's where we're at.
Yeah, but he goes to Jerry's house first, and Jerry tells him he has to believe to make that crucifix work, and he takes off. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He's scared.
Is that when he turns back? It looks like he's, like, from Dead Silence, it looks like he's on a rolling thing, only they do it a lot better in 1985. Like, he's moving backwards up the stairs away from the crucifix, and he's on, like, a rolling thing, you can tell, but not like in Dead Silence, where she's like, whoa, straight at you. Which is surprising, because that's 30 years later.
Well, Jerry thinks Amy's been bit at this time, right? She's got
like 4 bites on her.
She's stuck in a room,
and her hair starts growing.
Yeah, because Peter Vincent takes off, and now Charlie's alone, and he gets thrown in this room with Amy, and
well, we forgot to mention that before that happens, though, Evil Ed gets killed here. He morphs into a wolf.
This is in Charlie's house.
Yeah, this is going on right before they go to.
Peter Vincent goes next door to Charlie's house. Is Charlie's mom's dead? Is Charlie's mom dead?
I don't know where she is. Is she at work? No, we don't ever find out because he goes to find her, and that's Evil Ed dressed as her, like in a bed, and he's like, surprise!
But then we should have known what was going to happen with Evil Ed's future.
Why did he turn into a wolf? It was real weird. It was like a werewolf shot in this.
Is that I think it's traditional vampire.
They can just shapeshift into a werewolf?
Is this right? John's back!
Not for long.
Oh,
He's
John,
doing hot dog tricks.
help us with traditional vampire lore. Can they just turn into wolves? Because Evil Ed turns
For
into a wolf.
some reason, lycans and vampires are always...
But Underworld told me that they hate each other.
They do hate each other.
But they're very similar.
But Kate Beckinsale is really hot in leather.
Could you imagine
what
if we
taught
got to
me.
see her nips in that movie? It would
Yeah,
be
you know
over
what?
the
I'm just
top.
going to
She
take
is
this
so
completely
hot.
off the rails and talk about Kate Beckinsale.
She's super hot.
She is. There's your answer, Ben.
Okay.
Work with that.
And so Roddy McDowell, so Evil Ed turns into a wolf and comes at Roddy McDowell and he stabs it with a
lamp. A broken
piece of. It's not
it's
a
basically
lamp.
it's a stake.
It's a
it's
stick.
a wooden
It's a
stake.
piece of like the stairs, the banister stairs.
I feel like it takes a long time for vampires to die in this movie. They like Evil Ed gets staked.
And
doesn't-
he morphs back into
Yeah.
he's like a wolf turning into like a human, which looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
He's on the
The
ground
practical
lying.
effects in this movie are really good. So Evil Ed's taken out, and Roddy McDowell, I guess, finds courage in it and goes back to Jerry's house
Yeah,
to help
because
Charlie.
now Charlie's in the room with Amy and her hair's long and
So we get
I don't know what's going on.
Charlie's locked in a room with Amy, told that if by sunup Amy's going to be a vampire for life. I guess that's a vampire trope.
That's a good one.
Um,
How do you like Near Dark more than this?
We'll get to that. I want to call him Vincent Price. Peter Vincent. He brings his suitcase full of steaks and holy water and garlic and basically his vampire weapons. I have more perviness from Jerry. I don't know why, but
He probably goes in
he's
there.
really pervy. But him
Yeah.
and Billy are downstairs doing something, and Charlie's upstairs, and Peter Vincent shows up, and he breaks Charlie out of this room.
Well, doesn't he kill that guy first?
I also have the music that's
Doesn't he
playing.
kill Billy first?
No, not yet.
Is that after he breaks him out?
Yeah, because Jerry looks up and says, "I'll be right back," because he can hear Peter Vincent breaking into this room and freeing Charlie.
Yeah.
But the music playing, I have Sexy Sax Man, because this is total 80s saxophone music.
Two vampire movies better than Near Dark. Nuki.
Wait, why after this do I have Jerry bites Amy?
Jerry already bit Amy.
Oh no, I'm going off my memory instead of reading notes. That's probably not good. I'm catching up, I'm reading.
This is where they kill fucking Billy. They shoot Billy with a gun, and he like dies, but then he comes back, which made me think,
What is Billy?
what is Billy?
Yeah.
Is
If he's a
part
vampire-
vampire apparently because he came back with a
Yeah.
bullet through the head.
So is he only half turned? Because he can be out in daylight.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Billy is, or maybe there's a pact with like vampires that the caretaker of a vampire has vampire rules. I don't know what the fuck. I don't care though. It's great. He literally gets green oozed and sand like falling out of him.
But after they shoot Billy in the head, he falls down the stairs, and they think Billy's dead. Did you get the ode to Michael Myers? Because
with the
Charlie and Peter Vincent start walking back up the stairs, and they're not watching behind them,
And all of a
and
sudden
Billy
he
sits
shoots up.
Billy sits straight up, and I believe it was stolen.
See how
from
good that is
Halloween.
though. It's an homage. It's not stolen.
Jerry commands Amy to kill Charlie, and Vince. What's his
She
name?
looks
Why
kind of
do I
cool.
keep wanting to call him Vincent Price? What's his
Peter
name?
Vincent.
Peter Vincent.
Yeah, it's really
Jerry turns into a bat as the sun's coming up at this time. There's a
Yeah,
big
it's-
stained glass window on the stairs, and you can see the sun coming up. And
Bad things are gonna
so Jerry's
happen.
turned into a bat, and I guess he's trying to get to the basement, but they chase him. Peter and Charlie chase Jerry into the basement.
into the basement. Yeah, well, he went down because he was trying to sleep first, and then he got woke up, and then he turned into the bat.
Yes.
Because why would he knows that they're in the house. Was he just trying to catch like 15-minute nap before he had to fight them? Because he literally just was upstairs with them.
I think he realized probably the sun was about to come up.
I understand that, but do they have to immediately fall asleep at midnight when the sun is down? Like, why would you go sleep? You have a fight coming on your hands.
Because the sun's coming up. You can't fight with the sun.
I understand that, but you know that the best way to kill them is when they're in their coffin, just stake them through the heart. He immediately went to the basement to sleep in his coffin. Why would he do that? He knows that they're upstairs in his house. He just saw them in there. And then he batted in the basement.
My guess is he has to get to dark.
But he's going to die if he does that.
Who?
Chris Sarandon. What I'm saying is...
He's going to die if he gets to the dark.
No, what I'm saying is... He knows that there's people in the house that can stake him when he's in a coffin. But he immediately goes...
He thinks Amy's going to kill them. He has faith in Amy.
But
if he loves her so much, why is he telling her to probably die when the sun comes up? That I didn't get.
Well, he can find another Amy.
Yeah, but there's a whole thing with the portrait that reminds him. That's how he gets infatuated with Amy, and so I picture this like long lost love or something.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm thinking. That's why he's infatuated with her.
Chris Sarandon at one point says, "Welcome to Fright Night."
Amy looks really freaky.
Hot.
With the long hair and the
before she turned, she looked kind of hot.
But she has when she pops up and she's got that huge mouth. It totally reminded me of the movie House, with like the total latex effects.
I thought
and
it
stuff.
looked fine.
No, it just reminded me of House. You've seen House?
Yeah.
House 2. That's where Billy played.
Oh
Billy,
yeah,
and, yeah.
he was one of the friends.
Bill Maher was in that movie also.
And John Ratzenberger.
Yes, because Norm was in House 1. So.
Maybe someday we'll get there.
Oh.
I think the effects of Big Ben are pretty good in House, aren't they?
Oh yeah, I like the prosthetics and the
they're
not special effects.
They're
but
not terrible.
What
We've watched a whole.
What are non-special effects?
Makeup.
Yeah.
So
the starts with B.
There's the B.
P.
A P. Prosthetics. You already said.
Well, there's prosthetics. Never mind. Move on.
Moving on.
So we get this fight in the basement, and like every basement, they're not full windows. They're just like little, quarter windows. But Charlie starts breaking the windows, and you see sun coming in, and
the basement has an extra lot of windows for being a basement where a vampire would buy.
It really does.
But we don't care.
But we get to see a nice burn scene because the sun starts hitting these vampires, and smoke starts coming off them, just like in Near Dark, which you made fun of. You made Near Dark.
And in
Near
Dark,
years later.
Yeah, and in Near Dark, it only happened sometimes when the sun hit them, and it looked a lot worse. It'd be like hitting the arm here, and then their ear would be like smoking. Like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know what your beef with Near Dark is. It's very good.
It's not good.
Yes, it is.
Really, a blood transfusion saves you with vampires.
John knows exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, Near Dark. Yeah.
He says that Near Dark's better than Fright Night.
No.
Not even close.
Yes,
Not even close.
People, write in.
And
Near
I
Dark's
don't remember
way better.
what I gave Near Dark, but I am going on record right now and changing it to like a 5. It's okay, but it is definitely not as good as The Lost Boys or Fright Night. Not even close.
So.
Not even close.
Again, we have that.
Say it, John.
Long.
Not even close.
We have that long scene. It takes a long time to kill vampires in this movie. Even when the sun hits them, even when they're staked.
They start burning, and some
Jerry
lights
eventually
go on.
dies, and Amy turns back. And then we have the next night, Amy and Jerry are making out in the bed.
Ronnie McDowell got his show back.
Yes, and
People like vampires.
Did you
now.
guys happen to call out that how cheesy his show was? So cheesy that the steak was backwards in the first scene.
I didn't even notice that.
No.
Yeah,
He called
went to
out
steak the
he-
vampire with a
he-
backwards steak.
He mentioned the line about Peter Vincent saying that kids today just want to watch slasher movies, something.
Yeah,
But
kids do.
That's exactly right. That's all I want to see, tits and gore.
But then
And that blue jay out the window.
Charlie gets up off the bed, and we think he's going to be
Jesus. You're really hypnotized over there.
And he's gonna be He's staring out the window at the house. Then do we get? We see something in the window across.
Eyes, red eyes, like vampire eyes.
And then we get Evil Ed
Laughing.
taking us out to credits with his awful laugh. And
It was a semen-filled laugh.
All right. Because he went to gay porn. Did you guys cover how he went to gay porn? And I was probably part of his fan base or something like that.
We did.
You're the
Gee,
president.
I'm not surprised.
I'm sure you're not Hot Dog Man.
You're the president of...
That's it, Cobra.
Is that it?
That's it, Ben.
John, what'd you rate this movie?
8 out of
Wait,
10.
I want to know, is Evil Ed in Fright Night 2? Or, no, I don't think he is.
His character is, but it's not the same guy.
Okay.
I've never seen Fright Night 2.
I haven't
It's
either.
hard
to
as
good.
fuck to find.
Is it really?
I'll find it in a second. And I'll order
Where is it?
I'll go to a DVD online store and order it.
Yeah, you might, but it will be more than most DVDs.
You're probably gonna have to put it
It'll
on
be
eBay.
$20,
and it's
and
gonna
that's
be-
fine, and I'll uppercut somebody.
I paid $1 for House by the Cemetery, and then I looked online, and it was like $28.
Wow.
I was like,
I have it.
got a bargain.
Not in Blu-ray.
I gave this movie an 8 out of 10, but I didn't review it, so I'll leave you with the cryptic.
You can't just say a
question
couple
of-
things you liked about it or disliked.
Oh, I can. Yeah, Roddy McDowell was fucking great. I was just gonna, be mysterious, but Ben doesn't want me to be.
Rey
No.
Mysterio Jr.
The people want to know.
I thought Roddy McDowell's character was unbelievable in
What was
this.
his name?
Peter Vincent.
I asked him.
Do you
Is
know
his
who
name
played
John?
him in the remake?
Who?
David Tennant. And he did fucking great. He
Doctor
I haven't
knocked it
seen
out
the
of
remake.
ballpark.
He's in
Is it
Doctor
good?
Who.
It is. It's
I
He's
like,
in Doctor Who. He's
I
the
like,
TARDIS in
There's,
Doctor
there's,
Who.
yes, he's the TARDIS.
Well, I really
of
like
Doctor Who.
Anton Yelchin. And he plays Charlie in the new.
Mhm.
Is he good?
He is.
Yeah,
It's a good movie.
Is Colin Farrell
yeah,
good
it's Colin
too?
And I'll
good?
tell you, yeah, even Colin Farrell, who I like in a lot of movies. Seven Psychopaths is very good.
I have that on my
And
Netflix
In
queue to
Bruges.
watch.
In Bruges.
I need to watch that.
Very
It's in my
good.
Netflix queue.
Very
I heard it's
good.
really good. Plus,
You
what's
love
what's
Phone
his-
Booth,
No, I do not.
and you love SWAT.
Phone Booth's my dad's favorite movie, though.
what's this is the guy in Bruges with him, red hair, Scottish actor.
28 Days Later.
Yeah, what's his name?
I don't remember.
He's awesome
I
in
know.
everything he
He's
does.
very good in that.
I know.
I totally need to watch
And the
In
guy
Bruges.
from
God damn it.
fucking... The guy from the third Hannibal
Bean.
movie is in it, too.
He's a bigger bean.
It's not-
Red Dragon. The guy from Red Dragon is in it, too. Ray Fiennes.
Oh, Ray Fiennes.
Very
What?
good movie.
You said the redhead from 28 Days Later, the old man, the dad
Anyway.
with his daughter. Yeah,
I can't
he's
think of his
Cobra.
Isn't he a bean?
What did you give this movie?
No,
He's the brother of someone real famous.
I don't think so.
No, I'm telling you, he is.
Okay, I'm gonna look
Cobra.
it up.
What did you give Fright Night?
Fright Night gets a 7.5 from me. It's really good. It's fantastic. All the practical effects look really good. The characters are all likable, except Mercy Darcy. She's not terrible, but she's kind of annoying.
I didn't get
And
to
well,
that
Evil
either,
Ed,
yeah.
Brewster, you're so cool. His voice is
he's
annoying.
really annoying.
Did you think Chris Sarandon was, like, really charismatic?
I love Chris Sarandon.
He was
He's great
awesome
in
in
this.
this movie.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
Was he better as Prince Humperdinck or
I love the Princess
Jerry
Bride so much, but
Dandridge?
they're both great.
He might just be just good at whatever he does.
Yeah, he's great.
Honestly.
And he
He's
was
even
in-
good in Child's Play.
Which was directed by Tom Holland, same as Fright Night.
Oh,
we
was
tied
it?
that together.
yeah, we
Oh, okay.
checked that
We
out.
used IMDb for the first
I
time
see
ever.
Tom Holland's open there, yeah.
Mr. Holland's
He did
Opus.
Fiend.
Stephen King.
Yeah.
You know what else he did?
That movie with a lightning bolt right through the middle of it.
That is Child's Play, you idiot.
Is
Brendan
it?
Gleeson.
That's
yeah,
it.
he's Jackie Gleason's brother.
No, he's not.
Look it up.
He's like Scottish or something. Jackie Gleason's not Scottish.
He's somebody's brother. Look it up. Go into his bio and just see who his brother
Why don't you tell us what you thought of the movie, Ben, and then I'll look it up while you're doing that.
You do that. 7.5 out of 10.
What would you give Near Dark?
I give Near Dark an 8 out of 10.
Wow.
Yes,
yucky
loved
thing.
the practical effects in this movie were great. The special effects sucked. I was telling Cobra, guys with long fingernails like Jerry had in this movie creep me the fuck out. He claims he's going to grow his fingernails for next podcast, and they're going to be huge.
They're gonna be long, and you're gonna
And
see.
that's
I won't
just
try.
absolutely
I
disgusting.
just cut them like
It's very
2 days
unsettling.
ago.
Chris Sarandon was great in this movie. What else besides Princess Bride do you know him from?
Child's Play.
I gotta check out more Chris Sarandon movies because he's just great. I love the 80s tropes in this movie, like the news reports in the background. A murder took place last night, blah, blah, blah. The late night horror shows, because I can remember staying up in the middle of the night and watching these types of things. the kids noticing everything and the parents are oblivious. I don't know why it worked in this movie. I like some of the quick zoom. Like you'd see Jerry at the top of the stairs and the camera would zoom in on him. It was just a fun 80s comedy, and there's a lot of nostalgia for this movie. Watching it when I was younger. Special effects sucked, but that's 80s. And
You know what?
I thought the makeup on the vampires was great.
The practical effects are great. It's the green screen type crap that they had to use back then. Something explodes and you see these weird green laser lights or something. But the rest of the cast, though, I agree. Marcy Darcy was terrible. Charlie even was trying a little too hard. Evil Ed just annoyed me. Roddy McDowall was Roddy McDowall.
Really didn't like him.
And not as much as I remembered.
I think David Tennant does his character better.
I need to check out the.
You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
I know.
I'm gonna have to watch.
Fuck.
Yeah, I gotta watch the new Fright Night. I haven't seen it yet. Is this the last gasp of traditional vampire? I was telling him it's traditional vampire, but it's a combination of the suave vampire, but at the same time when he turns, it's the...
Interview with a Vampire had vampires that were similar to this.
That's right. It's when he turns though, he turns into more of a Nosferatu. Discussing with Cobra about the similarities with Salem's Lot. You can't, North America, we don't have castles, so it's an old house.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Salem's Lot. You have more of a Nosferatu, grotesque vampire, but I'm not sold on the tradition. I don't usually like the traditional
I just don't
vampire.
like vampires.
No, you like cowboy vampires.
They never mention vampires in that movie. They don't use the name vampire.
Is that what you like?
It just means that the scriptwriter was an asshole.
So
he's like, I'm not going to call them what they are.
So I did.
Yeah, they're just. They're walkers.
Night walkers.
They're walker-arounders at night.
Walkers arounders at night.
Bill Paxton. That's all I have to say.
He was good.
And
so was Lance Henderson, but they
this
couldn't
is
save that a blood transfusion and some tubes in the.
And the guy driving around like he was a cockroach in a shoebox.
Didn't save that movie at all.
No.
So
I did take Mr. Falcon.
I did take note that this is 2 years away from two of the best vampire movies.
Two of the
Lost Boys and Near Dark.
Man alive!
Nobody even knows that much about Near Dark, do they? Like, the Lost Boys was big. Near Dark
has a big cult following.
It was higher on the list than Lost Boys was on that 100 greatest horror movies.
I don't know why.
Because it's a good
movie. Because Bravo doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Whatever. Go to
hell. What was so good about it?
Lance Henriksen. Bill Paxton.
How about, it's a vampire movie.
It looked gorgeous. The cinematography is amazing in that movie.
It's a vampire movie, and the dad gives his son a blood transfusion from his own blood, and that changes him back to a human.
The dad's awesome. He played in the movie The Wrong Guys. You ever seen that movie?
Okay, so the actors were good in it. That doesn't make... The story was retarded.
We're talking about Fright Night.
But the story was much better.
One of the things that really bothered me on this time around was they never really explained what Billy was. Was he half vampire? Because he could come out in daylight, but when they shoot him at the end, he's still alive.
He's
he's
like
immortal.
I don't think he's fully turned.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Did you notice when they shoot him, he falls down the stairs, and Peter Vincent and Charlie start walking up the stairs? You get that great Michael Myers.
Yeah,
he sits straight up.
Yeah.
Liked it. What did I say I gave it?
Your review has been like
20 minutes.
7 minutes.
Hey! I try to give the fans what they want. I try to give the fans what they want. So.
They want my belches.
No, I like the rewatch. I haven't seen this.
What the fuck was that?
I enjoyed the rewatch. I haven't seen this movie in 10
But you think Near
years.
Dark is better?
I do.
Somebody write in, Cody or Daniel, and tell them that Near Dark. Rate 1, 2, 3. Near Dark, Fright Night, and The Lost Boys. And let us know out of those 3 vampire movies what order they come in, please. Thank you.
Near Dark, people.
Yeah, bottom of the barrel.
Bottom of every barrel.
Get the hell out.
Well, I came back basically to do this part because I didn't think you guys could handle it.
Really?
I'm sorry.
You can't handle
we went.
All right,
that's pretty
try
good.
it then. Try to do the outro.
Oh, fuck. Find us on Facebook at Facebook /
Cobra, you want to try?
You can find us at
Horrorcasties@gmail.com.
Horrorcastings@gmail.com.
We're on iTunes. Look us up in the search engine.
Stitcher.com and Podomatic. Give us that 5-star rating on iTunes.
It's
You
not
can
hard,
email the
people.
show.
5 stars.
You can donate to the show.
Oh, right. Patreon.com /horrorcastings.
What is Patreon? I haven't even heard of this till you just brought it up.
Basically, you
Is
donate.
it like GoFundMe or Go?
It's sort of like Kickstarter, GoFundMe.
Kickstarter.
You can give people stuff back for donating, though. And we've already given out the non sequitur episode. We've given out all our back episodes. We have a request for a movie that we'll be reviewing next week.
What movie is that?
Night of the Lepus.
Oh yeah.
Night of the Lepus.
Is that like
Lepus.
Night of the
Killer
Lupus.
Rabbits?
Killer Rabbits.
All right.
Night of the Lepus.
There's also another one that we're going to be watching, but I'm going to save that till.
Okay.
And then
Done on that.
you can also pick a commentary for us to do. You can pick any movie in the known world for us to do, but it's going to cost you an extra $2. There's a lot of cool shit on there you can do. You can co-host a show with us. We got that coming up too.
Pick Near Dark, people,
No.
because these two.
Don't you dare.
If you pick Near Dark, we'll give you your money back and say no thanks.
Near Dark is awesome to look
You
at.
are just lame, because that movie is not good.
It's made by
Hey.
Academy Award-winning director.
Do you want to hear
Yeah, before...
about Near Dark? Then donate $5 and get the episode.
Please.
And
no, I want to review it. I wasn't
Ben's
here then.
comments don't matter.
I feel like I might have gave... You have to... Whatever I gave it, go back in and put a 4 in, because I feel like I gave it something bigger than that.
It's expensive on Blu-ray. It's like $40, $50.
Why?
I
Because
don't.
there's only 3 copies, because nobody wants it, so it's rare.
Bullshit. Movie's great.
It's
Okay.
a cowboy western about vampires. It's not
Hey,
great.
everybody,
Love it,
by the
man.
way, first 5 people to leave a rating or review on iTunes and let us know who you are, you get some free art from Mike Dyerdahl. And the Cobra Challenge will keep going forever because we have an infinite amount of bad movies.
That's
I
right.
got a ton.
So write into us, let us know you want to do it, and we'll send you a DVD to review with some art, and you guys send us a review of the movie that we sent you. And it's going to be bad, just be aware. So that's it for this week.
Thrill me.
We'll see you next week when we are doing what I said.
Night of the Lupus.
Night of the
Night of the Lepus?
Lepus.
Night of the
Lepus.
No, I think.
Night of the
is it?
Lepus?
I thought it was Lepus.
Lepus.
Lupus.
All right.
You'll hear more of that next week when we argue about what the
It's
name
not
of
a
the movie is.
disease.
Lupus.
Is
Yeah,
lupus
it's
a
terrible.
disease?
Bye!
Bunny rabbits give you lupus.